Hello students, I think all of you are well. So today we are going to recite the poem The Quarrel. So it's common for brothers and sisters to quarrel, although sometimes they may not even be able to say why they quarrel. But how long do such quarrels last? How do they end? So before starting the poet, I want to say that what is the cause of the quarrel? So, quarrel means it's a situation where two persons do not agree with each other. For example, in your class also, you sometimes quarrel with your friends because you do not agree to each other, or you do not agree to your friend on certain points. For example, where you will take your seat, why you should do this and why you should not do that. So if there is an agreement between you and your friends, there is no question of quarreling. But when time comes that you do not agree with your friend, quarrel starts. So let's come to the point. I quarreled with my brother. I don't know what about. One thing led to another, and somehow we fell out. The start of it was light, the end of it was wrong. He said he was right. I knew he was wrong. We hated one another. The afternoon turned black. Then suddenly my brother thumped me on the back and said, "Oh, come along. We can't go on all night." I was in the wrong, so he was in the right. So generally, brothers and sisters quarrel with each other. It's a very common picture. So many times they quarrel with each other without any reason. So small children, they do not know why they are quarreling with each other. So their quarrels start over very small petty issues. That means the cause of the quarrel is not very serious or very important. So the subject of their quarrel is very small and not very important. So it's very mystic. So it's very mysterious also why they quarrel. So the poet is trying to explain how a quarrel between two brothers began and ended without any reason. The poet says that he quarreled with his brother over something and he was not even aware why he was quarreling about. One thing was giving way to another, and while fighting, both of them fell down. Initially, it was a small, petty issue, but gradually it became serious. The poet was claiming to be right, whereas at heart he knew that he was wrong. So both of them didn't like one another. In the afternoon, something went wrong. Then suddenly, his brother hit him on the back and asked him to come along, as it is not possible or right to linger the issues throughout the night. That means it is not possible to continue this unpleasant situation, that means quarreling, throughout the night. He also claimed to be on the wrong side, so he was actually right. So I quarreled with my brother. I don't know what about. One thing led to another, and somehow we fell out. The start of it was light, the end of it was wrong. He said he was right. I knew he was wrong. So the poet had a fight with his brother. So both of them were fighting and were not even aware of the cause of the fight. The fight was happening because of a series of things. So one thing was leading to another. That means when they start quarreling, so one cause of disagreement leads to another quarreling. That means there is a series of very bad situations. There is a series of very unpleasant situations between them. While fighting, both fell down. In the beginning, the fight was modest and was not very serious, but gradually it grew very intense. That means it became very serious, and it, the condition becomes very intense. His brother said that he was right, whereas the narrator was thinking of himself on the right side. We hated one another. The afternoon turned black. Then suddenly my brother thumped me on the back and said, "Oh, come along. We can go on all night." I was in the wrong, so he was in the right. Okay, meaning of thumped means hit, and meaning of turned black means to become very unpleasant. So in the noon, the fight became very serious, and both starting hitting each other. So I think you can understand that when we do not agree to each other on some subject or on some issues, we start hating each other because I do not accept the thing the way you do. That means the way you see the things, I do not see the way you see. That means your view and my view is not so equal. We differ each other. So the basic psychological fact is that the cause of the quarrel is that there is a basic disagreement. That means there is a basic difference in our views. So that's why we start hating each other. For example, in the classroom, I can say that, for example, you and your friend, you are talking about something. For example, in some competition, in some art and drawing or any kind of craft competition, art task has been assigned to you and your friend. So you suggest your friend that you should cut this paper or you should do this craft in such a way, in this way, but your friend disagrees with you and say that no, I will not make this craft, I will not make this project in this way, I will make this craft in that way. So there is a basic difference between this and that. So I think it is clear to you. That means we easily start hating each other because I do not agree with you. Not even in children, but even in adult persons also, we start hating each other sometimes because I do not agree with you, because your view and my view is not same. Okay, so all of a sudden poet's brother hit him on the back and asked him to get along, as it was not the right thing to cool the matter throughout the night. So suddenly one of them thinks that it is not very good thing to continue this fight and this quarrel throughout the night. He also said humbly that he was wrong, and it also proved that how good he is. So this moved the poet's heart and he realized that he was wrong. So since we were very small children, so we have to understand that at certain point when the quarrel starts, the fact is that someone has to be right and someone has to be wrong, because there will be no quarrel if both are right or both are wrong. For example, if I can see that I am right or you are wrong, I will try to convince you that no, whatever you are doing is wrong. So the way you are doing something, it is wrong. So I will try to correct you, saying that it is wrong. So you have to correct it. So I think all of you can understand the gist of the poem. So I think after reading this poem, you will not quarrel with your little brothers or sisters. So even if there is a kind of quarrel, also always try to find the root cause of the quarrel. That means the cause of disagreement. So what is the difference? So if you can't sort it out, try to get help from your parents or your elder brothers or sisters, whoever are in your house. So it's all about the poem, that we must not quarrel with each other, because it always leads to hatred, it always leads to some bad condition that maybe sometimes very unpleasant. That means sometimes we start hitting each other, and the quarrel can lead to very bad condition also. So I think all of you have understood the poem. Thank you.